I'm going to ask you a quick question on the birth control.
Go ahead, Lori.
Okay. 32-year-old daughter has a been in a relationship with a boyfriend, been on birth control. She's actually in the diaphragm, does not want to get off of it. No, why would I do that?
Okay, so she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to get off the birth control.
No.
That's okay.
Because, she's got relationships with her
Yeah.
boyfriend doesn't want
Okay.
to get pregnant. So can she take the pill detox and
Yes.
while she's on it and
Yes.
just keep taking it?
Absolutely, because in this case, it's not an obstacle to cure because there's nothing to cure. It's a maintaining cause.
Okay.
So while she's having this relationship, and while remember, patients can choose to be on what they want to. That's their choice. We are minimizing the damage to their bodies as a result of their choices. That's it. So any long-term after effects, because she may choose to have a child later on,
Yes.
the chances of that being better are better once she's on the pill detox.
Okay, so every
Right.
day, 30C.
Take it at night. She's taking a pill every morning. Take that every night. Done. And carry on as normal.
It's not a pill, but
She's on the diaphragm, so she's not on the pill at all.
no. Hormones in the diaphragm.
Right. So it is the pill because it's slow release hormones through the diaphragm, right? So that is still the hormones going into it. So that will still require the pill
So
detox.
just once a
Absolutely.
night.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't want to give a silica because it removes foreign objects. It will dislodge the diaphragm. Something to be aware of, right?
Okay.
Not pacemakers. No, my mom had a pacemaker. It wouldn't affect it. And that was one of her concerns when I gave her silica, was because she had scar tissue from a heart bypass operation and the operation for a pacemaker. So she goes, if you give me silica, will it eject it? I said, no, it won't. Because silica, with a pacemaker, the body puts tissue around it to embed it and make it one of its own. So it's not going to be ejected. But a diaphragm
Like a
is placed in out. Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No, welcome. Microphone, please, Amy.
Yes. Hi. So if someone is going to continue taking their medication, but you want to give them a tautopathy,
We do this all the time, ladies and gentlemen, because
okay, so what's the suggested remedy? I mean, what's the suggested potency?
potency,
For
30C. Reason
30C?
being,
Thank you.
there are going to be people that see you that are on medication from the doctors or specialists. They will never, ever come off it, ever. No matter what you do, even if they want to, they won't for fear something will happen. So that's called a maintaining cause as well as an obstacle to cure. So you have to deal with that no matter what. So in your head, you think, right, they're taking this, I have to minimize the damage, then get on with the rest. And that's where sometimes the LN potencies work. Ellen will say things like they work through the drug layer. They work through the drug layer, but they don't deal with the drug layer. So you still got to deal with the drug layer. Okay? So you still got to do your tautopathic method and your tautopathic prescription, nux, carc, and drug. Then, but if you do that potency then the potency you give, if you give LM, because LM is a 3C and a 50C, right? So it works slow and deep, gently. That's an LM potency. There's a module that will teach the LM potencies. Now, in the interest of time, isn't to talk about LM potencies, but just know that you can use them in that way. That was Hahnemann's last bit in the 6th edition of his organ that he was experimenting with. The Q in Europe, they're called Q potencies. Don't know why, but LMs. So you can use that. I still go 30C on mine. I don't use anything beyond that other than a 200C now and again. So I have patients who will still be on allopathic medications for 10, 20 years, and they will not come off it. But so you manage that and then deal with the underlying, and then you will still see a shift. And then over time, they will say, I forgot to take my drug today, the allopathic, because their body's shifting, they're no longer. Then one day, eventually, they say, you know what, I've stopped taking it. Because remember, why do we comply with things? Fear. For fear of falling ill. So there's the fear that keeps them there. As long as they are on the medication. If they're on a medication currently, method. If they've taken the medicine but no longer, sorry. The drug, right? Let's clarify the method first, then see how I want to use it. If I'm on a medication right now, say I'm on, I don't know, a cholesterol, a atorvastatin for cholesterol, I've got to take a tautopathic method to deal with that after effects because I'm currently taking it. If I say I used to take it, but now I've stopped, now I've got to detoxify my body from that drug. So that's the drug detox method, not the tautopathic, right? For the after effects. Say if I was a smoker and I quit smoking, I still got to detoxify my lungs, even though I'm not putting any more crap in. If I'm still putting in, it's a different method, right? But if I detox my lungs, I can do some organ support the organs afterwards. If my organ is damaged as a result, say if I take something for my cholesterol, but my kidneys get damaged as a result, I'm given an organ support remedy for the kidneys, which are damaged as a result of something else. I can go and have a car crash. I can puncture a lung, which ruptures my liver. You've got to support my liver. Or on this side, ruptures my spleen or my pancreas. So I've got organ damage. Not through trauma, bless you, but through trauma. So I've got to support that organ while I get on with everything else. So the organ support method supports the organs that are damaged by drugs, disease, toxins, or trauma. The detox literally does what it says on the tin, to detox the person after they've taken something. If they're currently taking it, think of tautopathy to knock it out while they're taking it, or to antidote while they're taking it. So one is to antidote while they're taking it, one is to detox after they've taken it, one is to support organs by virtue of something that's happened in their life. Does that help to clarify the three different methods? So you can use all three methods in one at the same time as well. And there's a method you learn called the multi-method approach. And then one, we give you a case, we say, choose which method you're going to use. And then you really get, juices flowing to decide what you want to give. Does that make sense? So that's how and when you use them. Okay. Kristen,
we have an online question.
Okay.
Alice wants to know for the NCT. I was eating, so I wasn't listening to what NCT was. But anyway, for one on multiple drugs, 8 drugs, do you use add in each one tautopathically?
Okay, I'm assuming that's Alice Venturella.
Yes.
Alice V. Hey, Alice, nice to have you here with us. Okay, the tautopathic method, if you read the book, it suggests to use the most current or the most toxic drug first. Because if I take this drug, Tylenol, and it's not that serious, and then I take a statin, which is more serious, I'm going to take the tautopathic effects of the statin out first, right? So we don't say give all 8. Choose your most dangerous or the most current, because that supersedes all the others before it. Does that make sense? So then you work it backwards. If you go, well, what if they're on all 8 and they're always going to be on all 8? Well, you just give the most recent one first, because that affects the physiology more. Then one day they may stop taking other drugs as well. That should answer that question. This is why it's a theoretical case, but only when we've done the case for real. So what I suggest, Alice, is please present that case, because then we can look at it more in depth. Hopefully that will answer that question for her. Anyone for Lisa? Mike?
Yeah, you mentioned Ellen said an LM goes through the drug layer, and you use a 30C to uproot the drug layer.
Well, I don't uproot it. I deal with the drug layer.
Deal with it. Okay, wrong word. You deal with the drug layer. Would you ever see a reason to give both concurrently, an LM and a 30?
No.
It's just easier.
That's like walking fast and slow.
Why do you choose a 30? And maybe you said this already. Okay. Why do you choose a 30 instead of an LM?
Okay, if you read your book, Ellen's books around here, the guidance is from 30C to LM. So you can choose anyone you want. I just prefer to go 30C. That's just me. Why? Because I'm working lower at a more organ level.
Got it.
True? So for my rationale, that's me. If you say, well, I want to work deeper at an M or a 10M or a QM or a LM, by all means go for it. That's why there's a range. The beauty of homeopathy is you've got to go with what works and what works for you. If it's a dose and I'm a pharmacist and I'm prescribing, you've got to give this drug at 10 milligrams, at 20 milligrams. Someone could ask them too, why are you not using 10 or 15 or 20? Why are you going from 10 to 20, then from 20 to 40, which is, drugs are normally doubled up every time the dose, aren't they? Isn't there any in between? Why not go from 10 to 11 to 12 or 13 or 14? They double up. There's no rationale. Any more than 30C to 200C. But what I tell my students is, if you're 30 and you want to go just a bit deeper, go 31C. It's one more succussion. But we don't play with these, do we? We all go 2M or 200 or 10M. Have fun with your homeopathy. Be free to experiment how you want. Make your homeopathy yours. It's a frequency. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Sorry if that's an elementary question.
No, there are no such things as elementary questions. They're just questions. Those who don't ask don't learn. Asha, you ready?
Well, I have one follow-up question to the birth control.
Okay.
And that is for the woman who's taking birth control pills and doesn't want to get pregnant, will the tautopathic method, this question has come up, allow her to get pregnant?
Okay.
Will it keep the
tautopathic method doesn't stop the birth control pill doing its thing, which is to stop ovulation. It stops the side effects of it impacting the woman further.
Because one is on the chemical level and one is on the energetic.
Yeah. So it won't cancel out and she's taking the birth control pill. The next person, after an intimate night, she's pregnant. That's not going to happen.
Okay, good.
I don't. There's always going to be someone saying, "Well, I did that and I got pregnant." Well, 3% of people on the pill still get pregnant. You know, so nothing is infallible. Let me put that as a disclaimer. Just like it is when men wear condoms, nothing is 100% guaranteed. You're still going to get the odd unplanned pregnancy. Just as a disclaimer. Okay.
Okay.